the B-17, the Flying Fortress. 10 kids in this. The older one is the captain, is the boss on board. He's older than the others. He's at least 23 or 24 years old. The rest they are painting what? This one is called the Memphis Belle. They are painting girls because that's probably that's what they're
thinking of. They're thinking of survival and girls. At that age, what else do you think of?
And both things go so well together. So we are very lucky to be out of this war, and we're even at the B-17. It's a gigantic ship. The funny thing is that if you compare it to today's big airliners, it's quite small. But whenever you stand under the wing of a real B-17, and this one is the only one remaining, the Germans probably invented 90% of what makes today's aviation. The jet engine, they were the first to develop it into a flying system with the Messerschmitt 262 and the Aredo 234. And the big three-engine machine, which just took off now, is a legend on its own. Lufthansa is one of the very few airlines in the world who still operates historical machinery. This aircraft is in the Lufthansa fleet as any Airbus 340 or Boeing 747 or Airbus A320, and it's flown by Lufthansa crew. Its crew is made of people who have been on a list for a year because the waiting list to become a U-52 crew member is absolutely horrendous. You have to wait 5 years, 7 years to be offered to fly, for instance, between Berlin and Shanghai or Berlin and London. And up there in the sky you have Our Lady of the Skies, Anna Walker. In Germany at the time there were a few girl pilots who were very famous, most of them being aerobatic pilots, and one of the most famous, she was a member of the Nazi party, and she was very prominent in the media of the time. Her name was Hannah Reich. And she was an aerobatic pilot, a glider competition pilot, and these people were flying German sport pilots, were flying in this wonderful aircraft, wonderful biplane called a Bücker Jungmann. The Bückers came in two flavors. One of them was a single-seater with a round engine and a little bit more horsepower and was named the Jungmeister. And the training version of it, this one, the two-seater, was called the Jungmann. The Bückers are really among the most fantastic aircraft one can fly in terms of sheer flying delight. Anna Walker is, of course, an aerobatic instructor, and what she's doing now is very, very, very perfect and classical aerobatic piloting, 1930s style. At the time, aerobatics were a trademark of great aviation nations. If you were living in a country which thought it was a great aviation country, you had busters. With the compliments of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, ladies and gentlemen, here come the Lancaster from the Dam Busters, escorted by its Hurricane. Wow. These aircraft, as you know, belong to the Royal Air Force, which is an air force which has a historical squadron, and which relies heavily on this squadron to maintain tradition and also the pride of the force. The Lancaster was used during the war. It was the most important British bomber with the Halifax, but the Lancaster became a kind of a symbol. This was a very heavy bomber in terms of bomb load. Aerodynamically, it was a wonderful aircraft. It was not very difficult to fly for its size and power. It has 4 Merlin engines, 4 Spitfires or Hurricanes in the wings. And this was used for the Dambusters mission. May I remind you that the Dambusters mission was the very concept of this mission was to break 3 of the most important of the war. They called them, at the time, they didn't call them DC-3s anymore, they called them C-47s, or the British called them the... Every airline of importance in the world, Pitkinsey, the Joker, Stephen the father, would come in and fill up the sky with elegant trajectories using his favorite mount, the Bearcat. But then one day Stephen decided he wanted to pass the baton to his son, Nick. Nick had a box and just entertain us a little bit by telling us boss stories. Because when the man starts to tell a story and wants to make you laugh to death,